Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Kairos, and welcome to this very personal demonstration of character creation in Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, where I'll be rolling my girlfriend and putting it up on YouTube for everyone to see. Yeah. So this is a request from toastyghosties, who has asked me to create a character with her personality traits and attributes in mind. A promise is a promise, so I will be doing precisely that, and this video is dedicated to her. So we'll generate a character, in case she wants to use it later down the track. I didn't think any of these portraits really captured her appearance or her personality, so I went and found some custom portraits, and we're going to go for this one, which does remind me quite a lot of her, actually. There's a softness to the face and to the expression which reminds me of her, the shape of the lips. The hair is the wrong color, but it does have the right length and waviness to it. And the skin tone spot on, and most of all the eyes. Toasty in real life has the most piercing blue eyes. This whole look just reminded me of her very much. She also has a couple of other attributes on display here, which do remind me very much of my Toasty, but I will leave it to you to interpret what I might mean by that. So yes, this is going to be Toasty. As far as race is concerned, well, she's human obviously in real life, but that's boring. So, I mean, she likes to play gnomes when she's playing Dungeons and Dragons on the tabletop. Her current character Mari is a gnome, but I really think that half-elf more captures her personality, because apart from the fact that half-elves are hot, they tend to be sort of more liberal, open-minded types, probably because they're sort of the illegitimate offspring of elves and humans. So they do tend to have, as it says, you know, curiosity, inventiveness, and ambition of their human ancestors, and the refined senses, love of nature, and artistic taste of their elven ancestors. And I think that captures my Toasty pretty well. So we're going to go for a half-elf. Class, well, if I was being mean, I would make her a wild mage. And the reason for that is because wild mages have a tendency, when they're casting spells, for example a healing spell, they will accidentally conjure up a swarm of locusts, or just, you know, do something absolutely spectacular but not what they were intending to do. So they're kind of clumsy by nature. And that works a lot with Toasty, because she's one of the clumsiest people I've ever met. She almost fell out of a second-story window hanging out the laundry once when we were living together in Spain. So, yeah, I'm tempted to make her a wild mage, but that would be mean. So what we're actually going to do here is make her a fighter mage thief. Because being a half-elf, she can multi-class. Fighter, yeah, that works with her. She can put up a good fight if she needs to. Even though she doesn't like playing mages, I think the reality is that if she actually lived in a fantasy universe, you know, with magic, she would have a few spells up her sleeve. She's just too intelligent not to have a few spells up her sleeve. And she likes to play a thief when she's role-playing. So we're going to go for a bit of an all-rounder here. Fighter, mage, thief. And that's going to become quite a strong class later down the line if we decide to play this character through. Alignment is very simple for her, very easy. I know exactly where she'd be. She's chaotic good. That just captures her personality perfectly. They have no use for people who try to push folk around and tell them what to do. That is Toasty to a T. She's definitely a very liberal-minded, intuitive kind of good person. So chaotic good. Just out of interest, I happen to be... I think I'm probably actually lawful neutral. They believe in a strong, well-ordered government, and benefits of organization and regimentation outweigh any moral questions raised by their actions. That does sound like something I might believe. So we're kind of at odds with each other in that respect. Although I might also be neutral good. I'm not sure where I am, but there's no doubt in my mind that Toasty is a chaotic good person. So we're going to go for chaotic good. Now, abilities. What I'll do is I'll do what I always do with these characters, and then I've got a d20 here, which I'll roll off screen, and it landed on a 13. So I will re-roll this and store it 13 times, like so. Because I think if you just keep rolling this until you get a high number, it feels kind of like cheating, so I like to do it this way. So we'll store that for a start, and we'll re-roll 13 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. Well done, Toasty. So we'll store that for sure. So that is an extremely powerful character. So she's going to be pretty damn strong. That's a good roll. That's a very good roll. So we're going to base this on not so much trying to get her as strong as possible. We're just going to follow her personality, what her attributes in real life. So she's not a very strong person physically, so we're going to leave that down to 10. She's more dexterous, but not that dexterous, so we'll say dexterity of 14. Constitution is good at 16. She's actually a pretty tough girl, actually, when she has to be. So actually, she's one of the strongest people I know when it comes to when the going gets tough, the Toasty gets going. So we're going to leave her on Constitution of 16. Intelligence is going to be pretty high. We're going to put that at 16 as well, because she's one of the smartest people I've ever met. She's just not, kind of nerdy smart. She's more intuitively smart. She can think on her feet more than I can, for sure. I'm more of the nerd. Wisdom, I'm sorry to say, she is going to have a fairly low wisdom because, well, she's definitely a lot smarter than she is wise. She tends to be fairly impulsive and does things that probably she shouldn't do, particularly when she's excited or in the moment, So wisdom is definitely not going to be her highest scoring attribute here, or ability. But as for charisma, well, she's one of the most charismatic people I've ever met, so she's getting a full-on 18 charisma. And what do you know? She still has 3 points left to spend. So I guess she gets 1 extra in dexterity. And I'm going to give her 1 extra in... Okay, which... We've already maxed out charisma, so I think intelligence is probably her primary attribute. So we're going to max out intelligence, and we're going to max out charisma. She's also got high constitution and a fairly low wisdom, fairly low strength, and average dexterity. That's pretty much Toasty right there. Definitely one of the most charismatic people I've ever met. Very good at making friends when she has to, and I think if she actually wanted to be, she'd make a very good leader. So that's going to be Toasty. Excellent. Now, as for skills, well, she likes daggers, so we're going to give her daggers when she usually plays like a rogue or thief-like character with daggers. But I'm also going to give her points in sling. Actually, we'll give her 1 point in sling and 1 point in two-weapon style. So she's going to be dual-wielding daggers. She's also going to be using a sling, and the reason for that is, and this is an in-joke that she will get, but no one else will. She likes to throw rocks at people, so she's gonna throw rocks at you, and so she's definitely going to be using a sling, because she wouldn't be Toasty if she wasn't chucking rocks. So, where else are we going with this? Oh yes, we have. Okay, I won't worry too much about this. Okay, move silently is definitely not an attribute she's going to be excelling at. Hiding in the shadows is also not going to be her. I think she's more of a detect illusion / detect traps kind of person. So what we're going to do is we're going to give her points in find traps. And we're going to give her points in detect illusion. Give her 20 in detect illusion and 25 in find traps. She's also got pickpocket as well. So that should do. Actually, I might take that slightly down to 15 and put that up to 30. There you go. Because she's not easily fooled. I think that suits her quite well. So there we go. She's going to be throwing stones and she's going to be swinging daggers. Now, as far as these magics are concerned, I'm going to choose spells that make me think of her, or make me think of the kind of person she is. I would have suggested friends, but her charisma is so high anyway that she doesn't really need to have a spell in, that raises her charisma. But otherwise, I would have said friends is her is a spell that she would be wielding. Let me see, what have we got here? I think protection from evil would be one, and that's really just wishful thinking as a boyfriend. I'd very much like her to have protection from evil, thank you very much. And we're also going to give her burning hands, because she... No, let's not give her combat spells, actually. On second thoughts, what I'm going to do is give her... where is it? I've lost it now. Identify. There it is. Because, yeah, she's... again, that goes with the whole intelligence thing. So, identify and protection from evil. Actually, no, we don't need that. What am I thinking? Give her shield. Going to give her shield. Protection from evil and shield. So, we're going to go for a more of an all-out protection kind of character for her. Because I think that suits her personality more than... I can't see her as the sort of person who would zap someone with a shocking grasp or a, flaming fireball or something like that. So we'll do that, and we'll have protection from evil there for now. She can put points in that later. Now, as far as appearance goes, we'll leave that alone. I'm not sure what her favorite color is now. I can't remember, but we'll just leave it blue for now. Now, the voice, I know exactly what voice we're going to be using for her. There are a couple of voices to choose here.
Your life shall be mine. All will die.
But the one that suits her is this one.
Now you're going to be sorry! I've always been leadership material. Sleepy time can't come soon enough. Are we loitering now? I've got the world's biggest ouchie.
Yeah, that's my toasty, all right. She does have that kind of valley girl voice, which is just hilarious. But anyway, and I haven't had time to record her voice and use it in these files. I've got my own voice here, out of interest.
Let's give him a right thrashing. Well, of course, I am the obvious choice.
So you can actually, if you have enough free time on your hands, and if you're enough of a nerd, you can actually add your own voice files into this. But we're gonna go with this voice here, and her name is going to be Selby Sticks, even though that name probably suits a gnome better than it does a half-elf, but that's okay. And there she is. So I'm pretty happy with that. She's going to become a really strong character, actually. Won't be using any heavy armor, but she'll be excelling at pretty much everything. So yeah, good for her, I say. So we can now import that character, or is it export? Oh dear. I think it's export. Here we go. Yes. So we'll save that as Salbo 1. And there she is. She's done. So we can now start a new game if we choose to. Whoops. And import character file. There she is. That will get you to choose her appearance and voice again.
Now you're
and name. And there she is. We can now accept. Venture forth. And there she is.
Now what? If you're sure that's what you want. Uh-huh. I'm on it like ugly on an orc.
That's a nice one. Okay, she's cool. I really like this character. I'll definitely be saving the file for this one. So, there she is. That's all her attributes and her abilities. She's a female half-elf, fighter, mage, thief, chaotic good. And she's going to be kicking some ass, for sure. So, I hope you appreciate this, Toasty. I hope it's entertained you a little bit, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in a few weeks. She's actually American, and I'm Australian, so talk about long-distance relationships. Wish us luck if you've happened upon this video and you're watching this. Yeah. So, this has been Kairos, and thank you for watching.